China has unveiled a new climate action plan at a United Nations summit, marking its first ever pledge with absolute targets for reducing planet warming emissions. The plan sets a goal to cut emissions by 7 to 10% by 2035 from peak levels. And this is a significant change from the previous commitments. China accounts for nearly 30% of global emissions. The country is the world's second largest economy and largest emitter of greenhouse gases since 2006. Yet it is also a global leader in clean energy, rapidly expanding renewable power and exporting solar panels, batteries, and electric vehicles. President Xi Jinping delivered the announcement via video at the UN Climate Summit, emphasizing the urgency of green development, even as some nations resist climate action.
These targets represent China's best efforts based on the requirements of the Paris Agreement. Meeting these targets requires both painstaking efforts by China itself and a supportive and open international environment. We have the resolve and confidence to deliver on our commitments.
Now, under the new plan, China pledges to cut economy-wide greenhouse gas emissions by 7 to 10% by 2035 from the peak expected around 2025, raise the share of non-fossil fuel energy to over 30%, expand wind and solar power capacity to 6 times 2020 levels, targeting 3,600 gigawatts. Increase forest coverage significantly, make electric vehicles the mainstream choice in new car sales, and expand its carbon trading system to cover more industries. Now, China's 2021 pledge was to peak carbon emissions before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. But this is the first time the country has set a clear near-term reduction target. Experts say the new targets are modest compared to what's needed to keep global warming under 1.5 degrees Celsius, and scientists warn the level is necessary to avoid catastrophic climate impacts. Climate analysts suggest China's actual emissions reductions may surpass these goals, driven by its booming clean technology sector. However, the lack of a fixed baseline year for emission cuts leaves room for emissions to rise in the short term. The announcement comes amid a complex global backdrop. The United States has stepped back from the Paris Agreement, and the European Union faces challenges in setting more ambitious targets. And as the world prepares for the major climate summit in Brazil this year, China's new targets signal its continued engagement in international climate efforts, even as global challenges and geopolitical tensions complicate the path ahead.